What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another stimulus update. So I normally don't do a video at this time, but we have some breaking news that does impact the $15 federal minimum wage. That's the main thing. But we are now hearing discussions that this could ultimately increase and give us a larger stimulus check. So yes, we may not see just a $1,400 stimulus check. Now, Democrats are saying, let's go bigger. We need to provide more to the American people. So the talks of the $2,000 stimulus check are actually coming back. This is big news, and I'm going to explain all that in today's video. But first, do me a favor. Go ahead, hit that thumbs up button if you are glad that we are finally getting answers. And also at the end of this video, feel free to share this with your friends and family on Facebook so they too can stay updated as well. So here's what we are hearing. First, the Senate parliamentarian, she just ruled, and this is breaking news. This just came out it was probably about 30 minutes ago. But she has ruled that the $15 federal minimum wage provision, this does not abide by the Senate's rules and the Byrd rule. So what we are hearing is that there will not be a $15 federal minimum wage in this $1.9 trillion stimulus package. There's no way they can get that in there. However, what we do know is there's options. Now, progressives are very upset. We've heard from many people. We've even heard from Bernie Sanders. And I want to read this to you. I want to read you what he press release that came through. He also put it on Twitter and through his website. But he says, I strongly disagree with tonight's decision by the Senate parliamentarian. The CBO made it absolutely clear that raising the minimum wage to $15 an hour had a substantial budgetary impact and should be allowed under reconciliation. It is hard for me to understand how drilling for oil in the Arctic National Wildlife Refuge was considered to be consistent with the Byrd rule while increasing the minimum wage is not. He goes on to say many people support it, 60% Americans, the president, vice president, majority in the Senate as well. But he also says at the very end of this letter, and this is big, he says, in the coming days, I will be working with my colleagues in the Senate to move forward with an amendment to take tax deductions away from large, profitable corporations that don't pay workers at least $15 an hour and to provide small businesses with the incentives they need to raise wages. That amendment must be included in this reconciliation bill. So he's already planning on going after the large corporations that do not plan to pay their workers at least $15 per hour. Doesn't matter where in the country they are, if you do not pay them $15 per hour, we're going to take away your tax deductions. So that's pretty big. Now, again, I'm gonna get to the $1,400 stimulus check increase in just a second because that is big news. But I just want to address this for a minute because some are saying that we do not need Democrats, we do not need to even go with what the Senate parliamentarian rules. And that's true, we don't. But what we do know is that the Democrats can overrule the Senate parliamentarian's ruling. However, the White House has said that Vice President Kamala Harris will not go against this. Kyrsten Sinema, the senator out of Arizona, she will not support that. And Joe Manchin would not support that either. So 2 of the 50 Democrats are not going to support this, so there's no way it's going to go through. They will not be able to overrule this. Others are saying that this is actually just a stepping stone to get something else, get a larger stimulus into this package. So here's what we are hearing. And again, this is just coming out. But what we are hearing, there's a few lawmakers that are saying that if we cannot get a $15 federal minimum wage, then we need to be able to provide an additional resource to the American people. How are they going to do that? Well, the big thing is a $1,400 stimulus check, but that was already included in this bill, so we need to increase it. So right now, with the facts that we can't get a $15 federal minimum wage increase into this bill, and something that I addressed earlier in today's video, I talked about how there were reports that the Senate parliamentarian is going to rule against using the child tax credits and being able to give an advance. That's big. And here's the reason why that's big. What we know is that the child tax credit is supposed to bring kids anywhere from between $250 to $300 per month starting in July. Well, if the Senate parliamentarian rules against this, which she hasn't yet, we don't know for sure, but there are reports that she will. If she rules against this, then that means this can only be a child tax credit that you receive at the end of the year and not a monthly payment starting in July. So you couple this, the no advance from the child tax credits with no $15 federal minimum wage increase. You have those two issues. And now what they're saying is, if you have those two issues, we need to provide more to the American people. Well, how do we do that? Well, let's increase the stimulus check. It's simple. Let's say you have one child, right? You have one child, let's say they're 7 years old. They get $250 per month. Or you get this for 6 months, which would come out to $1,500 over 6 months. Well, what we're hearing right now is, how about we just give another stimulus check? Why don't we just increase the stimulus check for children to $2,000? Maybe even increase it to $2,500. Now, I don't see a $2,500 check, but I could see that the Senate does an amendment where they go back and they address the hardest hit individuals. You think somebody that makes $15 an hour, what is that? Let's do the math really quick. I don't know off the top of my head, but $15 an hour times 40 hours a week, $600 times 52 weeks, about $31,000. So somebody makes $31,000. Well, so you look at an individual who makes less than $75,000, they'd qualify. Well, if they don't get $15 per hour, which what we've heard is that's going to come out to about a $3,300 increase per year, according to Bernie Sanders. Well, if they're not get the $15 per hour increase, another stimulus check. There you go. That simple as that. And that's what many lawmakers are actually discussing. Through Twitter, many are actually saying we should see additional stimulus. We should see a larger stimulus check. Now, I don't know if that's going to happen. President Biden has been very firm on the $1,400 checks, but this pretty much sets us up. And according to one lawmaker, he says this sets us up for $2,000 stimulus checks. And honestly, in my opinion, it does. If we can't see a $15 federal minimum wage, Bernie Sanders is already talking about increasing getting rid of the tax breaks for larger corporations. Do you think Republicans are going to go for a standalone bill if Bernie Sanders says, if you don't give us $15 per hour, we're going to take away your tax breaks for these large corporations, and they're going to be mad at you? So yes, there's a chance that we see a $15 federal minimum wage increase, or at least there'll be a compromise, possibly around the $12 per hour mark. But if we do, this is going to be able to pass through a bipartisan agreement, a bipartisan stimulus package, or a bipartisan standalone bill. It's not going to be a big package. It's probably just going to be a bill for the $15 federal minimum wage increase. That will be it. And so as a trade-off, Bernie Sanders won't file this amendment to get rid of these large corporation tax deductions. And then Republicans are going to give him a $12, $13, maybe $14 per hour minimum wage. I don't see them going with the full $15 per hour, but who knows? We could see it. Okay, I just wanted you to be aware of what we are currently seeing and what some people are talking about. So here's something else. This $1,400 stimulus check was already getting some pushback from mainly Joe Manchin. They're still getting a little bit of pushback, but progressives who were fighting for the $15 federal minimum wage, they wanted larger stimulus checks and the $15 federal minimum wage. If they can't get the minimum wage increase, then they might go after a larger stimulus check. They might push for it. They might even push for a monthly one. I don't see it happening. I just want to be 100% clear. I don't see a monthly stimulus check going through, but I could see a larger one. We could see a $2,000 stimulus check. That would be a really good thing. And we could also see the income threshold lifted just to get this passed through. Because I can tell you right now, progressives are upset. They are mad. Bernie Sanders is very upset about what is going on. Now, in regards to this $15 per hour minimum wage provision, I just want to say this is never going to pass through the Senate with the budget reconciliation bill. It's never going to happen. And not this time, not next time, not any time. So the only thing that we are hearing right now is that some Democrats are looking for other ways to get this passed. Some say, let's just get rid of the filibuster. And that is the rule within the Senate. That means any bill, or the majority of bills, have to have a 60-vote majority in order to pass. Well, we know this won't work because right now, Senator Joe Manchin says he would not vote in favor of getting rid of the filibuster. He would not do that. So we know right there's no way this is going to pass. And according to the White House and Joe Biden, he is not on board with getting rid of the filibuster either. And one of the reasons why, because many Democrats don't want to do this, is because if they do and Republicans take back the Senate in 2 years, then Democrats will have to deal with Republicans just pushing through any bill within the Senate because there's no filibuster. There's no 60-vote rule. So right now there's a lot of stuff going on, but what I can tell you is this whole thing is just a mess. It's a mess. It's a big, big mess. The tax credits were being seen as a savior for many parents. Now, this tax credit, this advance on the money, might be in question. And so that's what some are saying is that is a big blow because a lot of parents were looking forward to this money. We're pretty much counting on this money to help get them out of the hole, pay for their children, get their children out of poverty as well. And now it might not happen. And what else we're hearing is that the unemployment benefits. This is something I addressed, was it this morning or no, last night I addressed this, that we could see the unemployment benefits because right now some lawmakers, even Democrats as well, and some advisors to President Biden are saying that he went too big. The package is just too big. It's not targeted enough. It needs to be more targeted. And by targeting more and making it extremely targeted, we should not be extending unemployment benefits all the way till August 29th because the unemployment rate will probably not be that high. That's what we're hearing. So we could see this stimulus package right now. Here's what I just want to address, because based off of what we're seeing right now, based on the changes that just pretty much just went into effect, what the Senate parliamentarian did when she ruled this, what we are seeing is that we could see this stimulus package take longer because of everything that's going down, because of how upset progressives are, specifically Bernie Sanders. We could see this take longer. We may blow right through the March 14th deadline. I can tell you that right now. We're supposed to have a vote on this tomorrow in the House. That's what Nancy Pelosi said. That's what even Steny Hoyer, the House Majority Leader, said. But right now, it might not happen. We might not see it happen tomorrow. We could be voting on this on Saturday. Or the House could go back to the drawing board, try to amend the $15 per hour, put additional amendments, change some of the provisions, get this passed again, or get this, go through the committees again, and we could see this pass sometime next week. Again, what just happened here was supposed to speed up the process, but it actually just made progressives more upset that they're probably not even willing to negotiate. They're probably not even willing to, even give in to Democrats. They're probably just we need all this, you give us this or we're not going to vote. Because remember what I said a few weeks ago, if you have a group of over 50 progressives in the House alone that are trying to stay on board with each other, and they're asking for all these provisions, what's going to happen if they tell Nancy Pelosi that, hey, give us this, you need to give us $2,000 stimulus checks or we will not vote on that package. We will not vote to support that. And if they don't vote, in the House, if Democrats lose just 6 votes, then that bill does not pass. So that's what we are hearing right now. I just want to give you all the updates, everything that we're hearing right now regarding the technically the $1,400 stimulus checks at this point, which we could easily see those balloon up to $2,000, possibly even higher. I don't think it's going to go any higher than $2,000, but it could. This is what we know regarding the minimum wage rule and regarding unemployment benefits and also the child tax credits. If you have any questions on any of this stuff, trust me, you probably will, because it's very confusing. There's a lot of changes going on, but hopefully later on tonight and even tomorrow morning, we get some more answers. Just want to thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you have a wonderful rest of your evening. Consider subscribing so I can continue to keep you updated on everything that's going on, and I'll see you guys on the next one.